down the hammer and pick up the pencil. You're about to listen to the Savvy Radio Show. Learn from real-life real estate investors, experience revealed with the Savvy Landlord as your host.
Hey, you tuned into the Savvy Radio Show, and man, I'm telling you right now, I don't know where this podcast is going to go. I know it's going to speak to some people, and I realize that I have to say things multiple times and maybe different ways so you and me can understand it, or even it's the turning point, you grasp it. And I think one of the main things in society is that we never really look at ourselves. What motivates, what makes you tick? What turns for you? Meaning, like, are you an audio person or a visual person? Now, I know men are mainly visual. I mean, obviously, when you see something that you like, you gravitate to it. I think that's just nature in itself. But deep down, what type of person are you? I think the struggle of life, when you know who you are, your limitations, your capacity, what you can produce, what you can do, what you like, what you love, and you capitalize on that, oh, shucky ducks, you tuned into the Savvy Radio Show. Because you're going to get broken today. I don't know. I'm just teasing. I don't know if I'm being broken a lot, but I'm definitely going through some interesting life growing processes or whatever. Anyway, I was just chilling near my homeboy's house, and I just want to let you know, give you some perspective, and not that I'm something special, but this dude is obviously rolling. He has $650,000 house. He just closed on it. And I'm going to give you some perspective on this dude. So he's a builder of storage units, and he seems like a very educated investor. Like, I don't know him. I know of him. I've interacted with him on multiple occasions. He has a different personality than me. Nothing negative, nothing wrong. I just want to give you perspective. Anyway, so I'm jogging in this area, and I see this dude on a tractor, like a turnaround 360 degree, cutting his new lawn at his house. And I just welled up in rage. And I was like, whoa, VanCauwenbergh, slow your roll, big boy. And what was interesting is that just a week ago, some homeboy, I can't remember who it was, said, yo, your podcast about the lawn care deal motivated my homie, and my homie sold his lawnmower. And I'm like, I wish I knew who that was, because we've got to hear this over and over, and you're holding on to stuff that's slowing you down. And I was like, I don't know this guy enough where I could just do the Anthony Robbins on this dude and say, yo, you. But I stopped running in my tracks, and I was like, bro, make more money. This dude lives on like several acres of land, and I'm like, you're losing money. And I go, listen, I was like, bro, you're sitting on a $4,000 turnaround. Okay. And you're burning up an hour or 2 or 3 of your life, and you're missing out opportunities. And I think that's, and like, I'm trying, and I have this struggle with my wife, because like, I just finally committed. I'm never touching grass again. Several years ago, I can't remember how many years. It's got to be going on 5 or 6 years. And it just bubbles up a lot. A lot of people think that they have to be a man or a woman or something special that you can cut your grass. And what set me off was like, I was like, make more money so you can hire a lawn care guy. And if you heard that podcast a while back where you're blessing a lawn care guy and you're blessing that family. And so then the guy said this, and my wife has said this to me, and it just drove me crazy. He's like, well, soon enough, I'm going to get my boy out here and teach my boy how to work hard. I'm like, I almost cursed. Like, in my mind, you're dumb. You're dumb. Listen, the dude doesn't listen to the podcast, so I could just say, you're dumb. Listen, you know what's the best use of your time? Teaching your son how to make money That's not how you teach your son to work hard. You teach your son to work hard by serving other people. You teach he needs to labor, right? I get it. Maybe build a house, maybe volunteer at the Habitat to build a house, or go on a mission trip to another third world country and build and drill a well and show him hard work with no breaks and no water next to someone else. But you can't show a boy hard work at a $650,000 house and you're kind of rolling around on a VIP $4,000, $6,000 tractor acting like you're showing your boy hard work. That's not hard work. Hard work is to teach your boy how to make money. Or, and my wife is on me too, right? I'm like, Sinead, let's get rid of this freaking tractor. It's in my way. We're never going to use it again. And she said, well, I'm going to teach Maxwell how to drive a tractor. Well, okay. And then I asked her again, Sinead, we need to get rid of this tractor. Somebody's going to come pick up this tractor. Someone's going to get a smoking deal. One day I'm just going to knock this out. I'm going to give away a tractor. It's coming up. Maybe I should do a contest. I got a several $1,000 John Deere in my garage. It's time to roll out. And my wife was like, well, Papa gave it to me. Well, give it back to Papa. Like, give it back to him. Let him sell it and make a G and make some money. So you could make, and then I was realizing, I was like, hard work. And so, I started teaching my son about accounting. My boy has an accounting mind. He's 8 years old. I started at 6 years old teaching him inventory. And what I'm teaching my son right now, I'm teaching him how to do entries in a ledger. And so I was thinking when I was working with this guy, it's hard work for me to think of complicated accounting and make it simplified for my 8-year-old will embrace it. And so this is what I'm doing with my boy right now. I'm like, Maxwell, get a piece of paper out. Okay, Daddy. And I go ahead and buy, my son loves stuffed animals. I mean, it's kind of cool. He's 8 years old, but he looks like he's 12. He's so big, but he's 8 mentally. And he loves, Daddy Paul, I love stuffed animals too. So, Amazon, brought us this massive, huge stuffed animal. I'm talking, it's like 4 feet. It's this mega. And I'm like, boy, you can have this stuffed animal. It's a giant sloth if you read 7 hours of a book. Before, I was been paying my son $5 to read a book, and then I was doing like a little bit more for bigger chapter books. Now my boy's beyond chapter books now. Now it's about putting the time in. Hard work. And you get rewarded, right? What reward do you get cutting the freaking grass? I had to pause. What? Tell me, call me, text me, let me know, yell at me, holla. Let's get this debate rolling. So I was like, son, this is what you're going to do. You're going to have this sloth. You got to read for 7 hours. And this is how I want you to do it. I want you to get a piece of paper out, and I want you to write the date, what you read, like a chapter or pages, the book, and how long did you read. And then you're going to calculate it. And that's how we're going to keep track, a ledger, an entry into your ledger, accounting ledger. He doesn't know that yet. And it was cool. So I started the ledger for him. Today's date, August blank, read 2 chapters, 1 and 2, pages 6 and whatever. Read there's a book is called What is the Super Bowl? And it took him 20 minutes. Okay, 10 minutes a chapter is what he's on average. See, I'm going to teach him averages pretty soon. And then I'm going to teach him depreciation pretty soon. And so then I handed him the sheet and I said, all right, boy, go read. So he read and he comes back and he when he entered I go, let me see your ledger. He gave me the ledger and he rewrote the word date. And I was like, no, erase that, start on line 2. You got to make clean entries. You got to be congruent. Ooh, congruent. There you go, accountants out there. You got to be consistent. It's got to look. If you ever had an audit, son, this is what happens. And so now this is going on for a couple of days. The next thing you know, he shows up. I'm like, boy, where is your ledger? And it's pristine. It's organized. Now, my son has an engineering mind. He's a high C personality. And so this works for him. This probably would not work for my daughter, and it may work, but who has an outgoing personality. And I have to motivate her in a different way. But see, the thing is, now I'm going to teach my son ratios. And what's your average of per chapter, or what's your average of sitting down, and how can you scale? How could you get more material, or you'll see improvements? That's like a cash flow statement. And this is hard work that's going to yield forever in his life. He's going to keep a ledger. He's going to be financial literate because he understands money. Where's it going? How does it come in? Cutting the grass for 6 years, what is that going to yield you? Wow. Tell me. Now, I know I've been ripping you off. I mean, I'm not ripping you off, ripping you apart here. Some of you folks that like lawn care, hey, there's best use of your time. So let's talk about what's best use of your time. Working out. Think about it. So I didn't want to approach this guy. I'm like, this guy probably thinks I'm the most arrogant, pompous, condescending dude. And I'm telling you, I'm not. Is Jesus condescending? I can't compare myself to him, but like I get convicted when I read the Bible. It slaps me in the face. Cut the eye out that causes you to sin. Cut the arm off. It's dead fruit if it doesn't bear fruit. You feel me? You understand? Like there's a power of conviction. And I'm like, we can't be silent anymore. The people that you love in your life, you got to stop and help them out. And maybe my approach is a little kind of crazy. I mean, I was like, dude, make more money. That's what you need to hear today. Make more money. Stop fooling around. What's the best use of your time? My best of my time was to work out. I'm trying to get BBE, best body ever. I'm trying to be healthy. I'm telling you, when I run, I get motivated. When I listen to an audiobook when I'm running, I'm like on fire, 10-10. So it's the best use of my time. 30 minutes cutting my grass, or 30 minutes working on my body, this temple, this temporary thing that I can go to the next level with, okay? Now, stop doing lower level stuff. I'm telling you, I was with a superstar accountant. I've been hanging out with accountants lately. I don't know why, but I've been kicking it with some accountants. I'm like, one main thing is I want to learn accounting like nobody's business. I want to help my clients. I want to help my friends. I want to help my family understand the numbers. It's all about the numbers. So I'm hanging out with an accountant, and this individual is telling me about, not this individual's name, but about their finances. And, the money, the financials tells you the story. That's why you have to keep a good ledger. And when this individual was bleeding so bad, and where's it going? And this individual, guess what their occupation was? They were a flipper. This individual makes so much money, but never allocated taxes. And so 20 years clicks by. Let's just say you're 50 years old. You've lived a good life because you got big giant paychecks, but you have nothing to show for it. Was that the best use of your time? The best use of your time is buying assets that yield money. So never do anything that is not yielding the best that it could yield you in assets. And so I'm telling you, I don't know if I said this in the beginning. I don't know where this podcast is going to go. I'm all over the place. I'm making this stuff up as I roll. But I'm on fire right now with audiobooks and personal development. And I came across, my homeboy, Brian Tracy. And I'm listening to this Nightingale Conan thing. And it's like a mashup of every personal development book. And I came across Brian Tracy, which is one of my heroes. And he was talking about his course called The Focal Point. And I was like, boom. And I was like, let me buy that audiobook. I'm a little addicted to these little audiobooks. So I bought the Focal Point audiobook. And I'm like, bam, slapped in my face. First line, I can guarantee you to double your income. Okay, Tracy, double my income, mother. And double your time with your family. Yeah, okay. I'm ready. Double my income and I have a great lifestyle. I have freedom, right? Being an entrepreneur, I got to be home early today. I got to take care of something for my children. I got time. But double my income and okay, I'm in. And he goes over and over, only do what yields the most. What makes the most money? Doing your laundry, does that make you any money? Don't do it. And so that reminds me of Steve Jobs, Elon Musk, Bill Gates. They only do high level stuff. Get out of the lower level. Get out of the lower level trenches. Stop, make more money. Spend more time figuring out how to make more money than trying to go do your maintenance on your crib. Figure it out. You got to just make more money. And then it reminds me of a story that I interviewed. It's in my book called The Savvy Landlord. I didn't do any introduction. Anyway, this is your first episode. Oh, I know you may never come back. I'm used to it. But my name is Stephen VanCauwenbergh. You tuned in to The Savvy Radio Show. I've written this book in 2012 called The Savvy Landlord. And at the back of the book, I interviewed a bunch of random people that impacted me in some form or fashion. Well, and at this time, this guy named Dutch Ravenboer was my realtor. And I interviewed him, and he told me this story about how he lost $30,000. And I was like, okay. And I was all ears. $30,000. I mean, how do you lose $30,000? He said he lost $30,000 because he was at one of his rental properties painting it with a full garb on, like the mask, got the paint sprayer, and he's painting this house trying to save $1, and his phone rang, and he's like, don't worry about it. I'll get to it later. About 30 minutes to an hour later. I mean, I'm talking that fast. Are you that fast? He calls the person back, and it was a deal. And she said, I'm sorry, I already sold it. And he's like, he kind of blew it off. He's like, no big deal. Puts his paint gear back on. A couple of weeks later, a month later, he checks in on that deal, which I do. Just so you know, I'm crazy. I have a whole thing going of I check every deal. And the person that he sold to did a $30,000 profit. And he lost $30,000 because he was paint spraying a $15 an hour job. Probably 6 hours, bless some family, $200 that loves to paint, and you're painting. And from that day forward, he was on a ladder and he couldn't get to his phone, and he lost $30,000. Is that you? Are you losing $30,000 by cutting your grass? Are you preventing some other family that could use a young kid that can cut your grass for $25? Where are you at? What's the best use of your time? Do you want to double your income? Do you want to go to the next level? How are you going to get there? Do you have enough time to sit down and mark a plan to get to where you want to go? Anyway, my name is Stephen VanCauwenbergh. I hopefully that this episode motivates you, gets you off your and get it rolling and go buy assets. If you want accountability, I got this new thing brewing. Someone brought this to my attention. This young person told me that this group that they do a daily accountability, and I was like, yeah. He says it's X amount of money per week or whatever, and you have an accountability group. Hey, if that interests you at all, I never heard of that before. I have no idea what would that be worth to you, or what to charge, or how to charge, but if you need a daily, man, how robust would your life be if you had to get on the phone call with a group of other baller people and say, dude, fat boy, you didn't do the sit-ups? What's wrong with you? Yo, you didn't make the phone call and call that banker back like you're supposed to? Wow. Think about what your life would look like. You have to write out what your life should be, what it could be, and what it will be. Will you be great?
What is the Savvy Boot Camp? Are you struggling to get to the next level as a business owner, as an investor? Do you want to multiply your income? Sign up for the Savvy Boot Camp, a strategic and supercharged one-night and one-day event designed to shortcut your learning process and propel you forward. Just value, no upsells, and an intimate setting to build relationships with like-minded investors. We will be covering how personality profiling can make you a millionaire, outsourcing and the nitty-gritty of maximizing your property management, scaling your business through systems and automation, technology hacks you should be using every day, and how to raise private money. Go to www.savvybootcamp.com now to register or to find out more.
Thanks for listening to the Savvy Radio Show. Glide online and listen to our other motivating episodes at savvyradioshow.com. Connect on Twitter at LandlordBook and always be buying assets.